autism. Wednesday Addams, right? That's what you think. Or you think of Sia, her little friend Maddie Ziegler. We get to hear about how you have a cousin who's autistic, or an uncle who's autistic, or somebody who's autistic. And then you were constantly comparing us to them. We're not the same fucking person, asshole. One of the things that Natalie was the most glad about with me was that I didn't see her and her picture as a package deal, you know? Her and her sister were two separate people. But for us homeless people, you put us all in the predator tag, the predator category. They're bad people. Oh, if they were good people, they wouldn't be out there. Really? The number one reason for us being out here is victimization. People victimize whoever it's easiest to victimize. That includes the police. A lot of people are dead because people didn't want to listen to an autistic homeless man. Men just have to take care of it themselves. You know what? Whether I'm a man or not doesn't detract from the fact that I am disabled. And autism is not my disability. Autism is not a disability at all for me. My disability is how you people treat people who are different. How the rules constantly change based on who it is. If it's happening to you, you have PTSD and they're mentally ill. If you're doing it to them, you have PTSD and they're mentally ill. You just call it something different. If somebody tells on you for being a bad person, you will throw a fucking tantrum. And then when somebody who is forced to defend themselves because your words resulted in violence, actual violence, what the hell kind of a person are you? What can you do to help? You can shut the fuck up and listen to the victim. When the victim is a homeless, disabled male, you don't give a shit. You've shown that no matter what, you have assumed that whatever it is, it's more important than me. More important than stopping abuse. But then when it happens to you, you're all sorts of whiny on Facebook, aren't you? But people actually help you. You actually have the means and the abilities to do the things that you're telling me I have to do by myself. If I was capable of doing it by myself, I wouldn't need to ask for help, you fucking dipshits. But no matter what, you're just gonna let it happen. I gotta start off ground zero with a bunch of motherfuckers who don't give a shit about me, have shown literally for years that they don't give a shit about me. They don't care about any of the fucking harm I'm dealing with. They're too busy fucking talking. That's how people show that they have no respect for you. That is how people show that they do not care. That is how they show that they're not a real friend. They don't care to hear what you have to say. It's what they want to know when they want to fucking know it. And not until then. You don't fucking matter to anyone. When people take advantage of you and they don't keep your word, they don't follow through, and they allow people to harm you over and over and over again, how can they call themselves friends? When people want to pretend that they care and stick around on your fucking Facebook for years and years and years. No, Natalie was killed years ago, and these people did nothing to actually help. When it comes to actual help, it doesn't matter what you did. If you did not come forward with me to speak up, then you did nothing. You just let them fucking harm me until I had to literally scream at the top of my fucking lungs for help because you people fucking suck. I didn't fucking matter. You just wanted to be fucking-tained. And when it was no longer entertaining to you, you went away. None of you ever cared about me. Literally none. Some of you cared about Natalie because it was popular, but that's it. No matter how much abuse I have to go through. Nobody's got time, nobody's got time, nobody's got time. Well, don't pretend to be my fucking friend then. If you can't make time to listen and help turn this shit in, you're not a fucking friend and you never were. Go the fuck away. I went to everybody that I was supposed to for help. And they want to fucking cry rape because I exposed them on the goddamn internet. Are they literally crying rape? Oh, hell no. Every one of these goddamn retarded ass douchebags knows better. Now, why is it okay for me to call these retards retards? Why is it okay for me to be rude in such a way when I speak out about how wrong it is? Oh, they didn't actually call you a retard. You know what? You go ahead and argue your sentiments all you want. The thing is, you don't have to call somebody something when you're treating them that way. When you're treating them differently than you would want to be treated, and you think that it's okay. You think that making excuses for the predators, making the victim feel like it's their fault. Oh yeah, that's a real friend, isn't it? Of course it's not. None of you are dumb enough to believe that shit. Why pawn it off on us? Then you got Sheldon Cooper, right? Oh yeah, he's doing a lot for the autism community. There's a lot of stuff that we do get, we do understand. And a lot of autistic people, they say, well, I just don't get it. Bullshit. Nearly every autistic person I know who's at least mediocre is more understanding of emotions than you are capable of understanding. Wednesday Addams, right? She's supposed to be a sociopath. That's what she was written as. But you guys, your assumptions are that anybody who is autistic is a sociopath. And then you peg us into that category, and then you never let it the fuck go. And that's why we're so easy to take advantage of. That's why we end up on the streets so often. Because you simply don't care. You get to see how my friends, no matter what, made every excuse that they could to try to hide, to try to look the other way. The ones who claimed that they were going to help me. It didn't last very long, did it? They said that until they got what they wanted, and then they were done. After I'd spent my money so they had their money for drugs or alcohol and still had enough for rent, all my money was gone and they fucking disappeared. Every one of them. There's a lot of people that I had to pay for things and wait long amounts of time. Like I had to wait almost 3.5 months for Mandy Singer, to finally buy a computer so that she could help from a distance. But it took her for fucking ever. I gave her $500, $400 for a computer, and $100 for 5 hours worth of work. So that's $20 an hour. And then I had to wait 3 months until there was a sale so that her daughter could get a computer on sale at Walmart, where her daughter worked. And then when she got a computer on sale there, it wasn't a computer on sale. She bought a $100 tablet. Spent $100 on weed. Like, she gave me the whole list of shit that she bought. But then that tablet thing that she bought, it's basically one of those, like, basically a word processor thing. It's not even one of the good ones. I gotta try to make do with what I got. And for the situations where I bought the materials I did, like the computers and such, I bought them, the laptops I bought, because, well, I'm constantly on the road and you don't need to go find a place to set everything up. But then when I got a place in Chapel, Nebraska, low income, and I was supposed to have help when I was there, the whole time I was in low income, I didn't have that help. It was supposed to be Jen Beebe and Nicole Peralta helping me, but they weren't answering their phones. It's not that I didn't try, it's that nobody else did. Nobody else actually tried to turn it in with me through any of it. There are a few people who did go in with me so that I could try to turn it in. But I wasn't being heard, and I didn't have a place with peace and quiet so I could work on what I needed to. And people don't try to understand that. They take advantage of the fact that I literally can't take care of myself. I can't function. And instead of assisting me with that, I get taken advantage of everywhere that I go. Like, if you pretend that my disabilities don't exist, then it makes it okay for you to capitalize them. It makes it okay for you to take advantage of me. It makes it okay that I'm still out here being taken advantage of and abused because you don't actually care. Why pretend? Well, it's obvious there was benefit for you at one point, and when there was no longer benefit, I no longer mattered. Safety first. That means housing first. For me, my complicated situation just gets more complicated by the day. All these agencies that I was being sent to, I explained that I was trying to turn them in too. Like TCCHC and TFCC. If you're being harmed as an at-risk and disabled adult, it doesn't matter if you do everything right. If you have to do it alone, you automatically lose. Anybody can make it your word versus theirs, and they can make it impossible for you to get any of the resources that you need to actually establish yourself. When these places know that they're putting you on a waiting list that's over 2 years long, and they only allow you to be on the waiting list for 2 years, what they're setting you up for is literally years of ongoing abuse. So when you try to turn in a crime, you're going to be blown off by the police every fucking time. And the rest of the homeless people out here are a bunch of goddamn cowards, just like anywhere else. Unless it's happening to them, they don't want to hear it. When something does happen to them, they just want to bitch about it. Or they'll talk about how they went in alone. Well, that's everybody's first problem right there. You never go in alone. As a homeless person, you're to blame for literally everything that has ever gone wrong in anybody's life. That's how people tend to think of us. We must all be junkies, so we're the reason that the economy sucks. We must all be some sort of terrible monsters who harm children, and so on and so on. Meanwhile, statistically, over 70% of the time, when you are killed as a child, it is a parent who killed you. And it is more likely to have been your mother who did so. When you are physically abused excessively as a child, it is more likely that it is your mother who committed those crimes. Men have the lead in only one type of crime, and that is why women primarily focus on that one type of crime, and that is sexual assault. However, that is to the detriment of every sexual assault survivor, because we throw away what is supposed to be a law to protect victims. We throw it out in lieu of bias, the assumption that the man must be guilty and the woman is the victim. And even if you know that she is not the victim, you still have to take her aside, because societally, you're a bad guy if you don't. You've done something wrong if you don't. When a man is being victimized, you tell him he deserved it, he wanted it, he needed it, he chose it. It's a man's fault for being there. He shouldn't have been there, you say. He shouldn't have been there. Boy, how fucked up that is. This is why most of you should not have the right to fucking vote. You want to tell people that think a thought through to its conclusion, you want to tell them that they think too much. No, you just think that you got busted fucking lying. You want to call us overthinkers. It's not overthinking. When you have to be aware of your surroundings, and you have to be aware of public bias at all points in time, it's a pretty important thing to factor into just about every decision. We don't follow the law, we follow what the public thinks, and the public thinks whatever women tell us to think. If women tell us we need to care about black people, then we'll care about black people. If women tell us we need to worry about missing and murdered indigenous people, then that's what we'll worry about. Males are the most murdered people in the country by police. 96% of those killed every year are killed by police. However, there are some people who have higher statistics than that per their given group, socioeconomic group. The homeless, if they had the same population size as black people, would account for over 99% of those killed by police every year. So thank goodness the homeless only account for 0.18% of the homeless population, right? You need to get involved. We have to rely on our friends, family, and parents to give a shit, or we have no voice. That's what the mentally ill tag does to us. When we are victimized to the point that we want our lives to end because of the abuse, you victimize us for wanting our lives to end instead of doing something about the abuse. Not okay. Not okay.